Hey guys, we're back with the next episode of our Sryth Fantasy Text-Based RPG. Last time we're talking to Gryphook, the goblin from Harry Potter, and we've found some adventure right here. So we're gonna start with that adventure. Thanks so much for hanging out and joining me. Let's just go. Terror in Green Marsh. Embark. When Chelonia Gryphook asked if you'd be willing to do him a favor, you were at first skeptical, but when the shrewd trader tells you that he's willing to pay you 1,000 gold tokens, you find your interest in the yet to be disclosed endeavor suddenly piqued. A simple affair, really, he says, eyeing you closely. Just a brief jaunt up to the village of Greenmarsh, just, of course, a bit of more, mind you. There you'll find a gal that owes me more gold than I can afford to overlook. Fetch her back to me, and you'll be paid on delivery. Yes, let's. After several minutes of bantering and bickering, Chelonia relents and agrees to pay you 1,000 larger tokens for the successful completion of the task. Never deny a shrewd bargain, he grins. Okay, that's not what I meant to do, but okay. Chelonia tells you that you should have little difficulty locating the woman he seeks in Green Marsh. However, sorry, interrupted. Chelonia tells you that you should have little difficulty locating the woman seeks in Green Marsh. However, it is only after your acceptance of the mission that you learn her name is Pinrin, and that she's the head of the village militia. That name sounds familiar. She's tough as a troll hide, he says, but certainly no match for the likes of you. I'll expect you to be at it straight away, too. This is a debt that's long overdue. Bid Chelonia farewell and leave his shop. Well, mm, let's go. Then, located in the city of north of the city of Trinmore, is a desolate corner of the bleak moor that dominates the area. The village of Greenmarsh is home to a handful of farmers and fishermen who eke out a meager living on the edge of Barrow Loch. The interior of the Tall Shanks Tavern is little more than a pair of rickety wood tables, flanked with two long, uneven benches. A piece of slate attached to the wall appears to see frequent use, keeping score of some sort of game, though at present you're the only patron here. The tavern keeper, his head enveloped in a shaggy mop of red hair, appears through a door in the far wall and asks how he might be of service. A look of great anguish passes over the tavern keeper's face, and he tells you that you should make your inquiry at the village hall. He tells you how to find the hall, and you bid him good day. Okay. The village hall is little more than a windowless shack that sits on the eastern edge of the centre of Greenmarsh. Inside the cheerless, lamp-lit structure, you find three men and a woman poring over a set of maps spread out on a long wooden table. All people look up as you enter, and a man in a short grey beard asks what your business is. I'm looking for someone. The members of the village council will inform you that the only convened during periods of crisis tell you that Penryn has gone missing. When you inquire about the circumstance surrounding the disappearance, you begin to think that you are in for more than you may have bargained for. Learn that over the past 3 weeks, a handful of people have gone missing from the village and from a couple of outlying farms. One of the elders, a lone woman, And the council tells you there's little doubt that the similar legendary creature known as Thorn and Gill is to blame. At first, the three elders are quick to admonish her for leaping to conclusions, but after hearing her out, you're all but certain that the legendary creature of which she speaks is to blame for the recent troubles in Green Marsh. Thorn Gill. Legendary creature said to roam the marshlands that lie between the dark, murky waters of Barrow Loch and the vast expanse of the moorland that surrounds the city of Trinmore. Descriptions of this beast vary, but most of those who have reportedly cited it agrees that it appears to be a troll-sized two-legged creature with bulbous yellow eyes and large gill slits on either side of its wide neck. Its head is said to be covered with small, sharp thorn-like protrusions, and both its feet and hands are said to be webbed. The stories that surround this semi-mythical creature suggest that it lives in the murky deep of the Barrow Loch and that it prowls into the inland marshes and roams the moor at night in search of prey. The thorngill is known, as it is known to the locals, have been blamed for many unexplained disappearances over the years. Or she's just gone. Kimbra, the lone woman on the village council, pulls you aside after you finish inquiring about Prinrin and tells you that although few but put any stock in the legend of Thorngill, she can see that you are a woman with an open mind and a strong will. They choose to ignore what they fear, she says. I do not know what business you have with Prinwyn, but I only wish to see her return safely to Greenmarsh if she yet lives. Kimbra tells you that if you choose to go in search of Prinwyn, she is certain she can point you in the right direction. Yeah, let's go look. To trek the cave, choose travel option Greenmarsh. Kimber thanks you for accepting the task to search for Prinwyn and leads you to the back of the meeting table where she stabs a spot on a map of a nearby area with a slender finger. It's a cave on the edge of the dense bog, she says. Hunters discovered it only recently. It has long and purposely been concealed. I can think of no better refuge for a beast of legend, can you? You carefully set a map until you're certain you can find your way to the newly discovered cave. Alright, let's visit the mercantile first. The mercantile features a largely disappointing array of weapon, equipment, and provisions. The owner, a short, heavy-set woman, greets you warmly but appears set on watching your every move like a hawk. It's good to know that somebody is going to do something, she says in a sudden. So a good bit of talk is all the folk around here seem capable of these days. Okay. What is she talking about? Hey, who's nearby? Hi, Kalita. How are you? Let's see. Travel. Long hidden cave. Gotcha. Alright, might as well save. It's been a minute. You stand before the mouth of the recently discovered cave. The ground underfoot is spongy here and prelude of the treacherous terrain to be found in the bog that has crept into this part of the forest. Into the cave. The air is stagnant and moist in the narrow, twisting passages of this recently discovered cave. Now and again, the sound of dripping water reaches your ears. The mouth of the cave lies to the north. Ow! Apparently, I've cut myself because this hand sanitizer is burning me. Ah! Alright, let's go west. It's an interesting looking cave. The sudden arrival of a group of swamp goblins startles you. You quickly assume a defensive stance as the savage creatures rush forward, snarling viciously. Death. Keep your trash. You step over. I mean, I'll sell it, I guess. Let's go this way first. So all these are just swamp goblins, is it? Two more. So there's nothing in this spot. No. Interesting. But the bodies of the slain goblins once again set off through the cave. There's more goblins. And they've left the cloud. The ghastly shriek of the dying goblins echoes off the walls of the cave passage. By the time they've faded to silence, you once again set off on your way. Oh yes, we're setting off on my way. So nothing's really happening in there. Let's go all the way across. Just all these are just goblins. These weapons are heavy. No weapon this time. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. A shine. What's my wait? Items. 86%. Seems like a lot. I mean, what happens when I fall? Okay, we're just gonna fight everyone now, eh? Alright, I'm not taking any more. Unless it says unmatched. It's 30. Okay, now it's 30. Let's go this way. Goblin Hunter. Yeah, okay. South here. More Goblin Warriors. Let's go this way. Swamp Goblins. It's alright. Like, this place is packed with goblins. 6 here. Shine. Alright, alright. Okay, what's this one? Something good here. Just more goblins. Okay, and that just comes upon where we've been already. So let's just keep going this way. Your cautious progress along the cave passage is suddenly halted as a large and particularly gruesome swamp goblin steps out of the shadows ahead. The vicious, green-skinned humanoid snarls as it thrusts its heavy wooden spear threateningly into the air above its leather-capped head. No, we're not retreating. Attack. Unmatched. Exceptional. Goblin topples over and lands at a heap at your feet. You step over its battered and bloody corpse and prepare to continue along the passage. What's at the end then? You step into a small chamber at the end of the cave passage and are immediately overwhelmed by the pungent smell of rotting vegetation. A pool of murky water dominates the center of the semicircular room, out of which rises a large, dark shape. The creature now emerging from the shadowy pool defies description. Nearly the size of a forest troll with long, sinewy limbs and a mouthful of yellow fangs, the heavy, two-legged beast steps clear of the water and snarls as it turns its head to face you. The pupilless white eyes of this abominable creature peers out from the face riddled with what appears to be long, sharp thorns. The side of the beast's thick neck display two sets of broad gills. You have little doubt that you are at last face to face with the legendary dreaded Thorngill. The Thorngill again snarls and takes a lengthy step towards you. Attack. Look, when you see it molded. The Thorngill retreats to the edge of the murky pool as you charge forward and initiate your attack. With its feet submerged in dark water, the terrifying beast turns and counters your assault, swiping at you wildly with his massive, claw-tipped hands. And now he's dead. The Thorngill lets out a hideous gasp and slops into the murky water at the edge of the dark pool, and a thick film of black blood now coats the top of the water around the half-submerged carcass of the fearsome beast. A sudden movement to your right causes you to spin in direction as you steel yourself to face the new possibility of a menace. Must be the girl. You quickly relax your guard as your eyes fall upon a young woman lying down against the cave wall at the left edge of the dark pool. She is attempting to sit up, but appears to be quite badly battered. You rush to her side and help her to a sitting position. I knew it wouldn't be anyone from Greenmarsh coming to my rescue, she says with a wry smile, appearing to be painfully force every word from her lips. You later discover the young woman is indeed Prinwyn. She tells you that she was abducted by a group of swamp goblins while cutting through the woods south of the village. You learn that the goblins brought her here to apparently feed her to the fearsome Thorngill, so that beast devoured two others, she says with a shudder. I didn't recognize either of them, so I assumed they were travellers as such. I never believed in the beast myself until I saw it with my own eyes. I haven't a clue as to what the swamp goblins were doing with it, though. It was most likely that creature was their pet. Pinwin thanks you and meets you on the shoulder cross. Realizing that it would be best to be upfront with Pinwin and tell her of the true nature of your mission to Greenmarsh, when you mention Chelonian Gryphook, her face grows ashen and she looks at you in horror. I'd rather be fed to the Thorngill than end up a slave for that rat, she says. Don't tell me that a woman such as you allies herself with a murderous thief. Marie tells you that she does indeed owe Tilonia a tidy sum of gold, but she has every intention of repaying her debt when she's able. She also tells you that the term of agreement is made out of desperation with an unscrupulous trader involved in indentured servitude on behalf of the debt is not settled on time. Handing me back to Tilonia is a sentence of death. It's divination. You call upon the power of divination and able to see that she's telling the truth. She both intends to pay back to Tilonia when she can, and she faces indentured servitude should you return her to him. Alright, I'll take you. And you tell Prunella that you've no intention of attempting to bring her back to Tilonia, and she smiles and appears to be quite relieved. Thank you, friend, she says, reading you another shot across. I don't believe I even know your name. Introduce yourself to Prunella, and she nods. Well then, Alison, she says, what do you say we get out of this cave? Sounds like a budding romance to me. The trek back to the village is swift and uneventful, and upon arrival, you and Pinwin proceed to the village hall where the jubilant reception awaits. Kimbra, the council member who told you about the cave and suspected that the legendary Thorngill was involved in Primrose' disappearance, thanks you for your daring rescue and for soundly affirming our suspicions. It seems that some old tales have a good bit of bite to them after all, she says. You take your leave of the village council, bid farewell to Prinwin and Kimbra, and prepare to set out for Trinmore, where you plan to inform Tilonia Gryphook of the young woman's untimely demise in the claws of the fearsome Thorngill. Stop back and pay us a visit sometime, says Prinwin, waving it as you depart. Short while later, you're standing before Tilonia Gryphook, having just delivered the shrewd trader the news of Prinwin's death. Real shame, sneers Tilonia. I don't like nothing better than collecting on old debts, you see. Alas, though, for there are always others. Tilonia tells you that he's sorry he can't pay you for your trouble since you didn't manage to return with Prinwin, but he does say that your services may be of use to him from time to time. I like a good able hand about. Don't be shy about coming around now and then. You bid him farewell a good day and promptly leave his shop. I mean, can't you just pay him the money? That's what I do. Alright, let's go back to... we can go to the Emporium and sell stuff. I have to figure out where to sell this expensive stuff. Let's see if we have anything we can upgrade here. We can train weaponry. Weaponry slashing. How about any powers? Weaponry slashing it is. Oh, not in a safe location, he says. Oh, right, oh, right. Awesome sauce. Alright. What else are we doing? Castles around here. I mean, I guess we could drop off this mossy year. Oh, we can go get some stuff identified. I'll do that as well. I don't know what these icons do. Alright. Let's travel to Hucklow. Hucklow, I say. Southwest. To Sage. Kuzoron's hood and the ring of mystic ability. Alright, let's take a look. Kuzoron's hood gives me 3 aura, stamina, never. What do I have on? I have the Master Assassin. Yeah, I might have to keep this. It's almost better. And then another ring. Plus 2 aura. This one gives me luck. This one gives me might and spirit. Yeah, I don't think I can get rid of anything I have. So I don't need any more aura. I'm at 20 on everything, as you can see. Alright, let's travel to... back to... I didn't mean to lean this. More wrenches into Linus. There is. I don't have time for more adventures. The gallows. Grim spectacle suddenly turns deadly. Alright, let's do it. While passing by Harvest Hall in the southern sector of the city, you happen upon a grim spectacle. A large crowd gathered here, and all eyes are focused upon the gallows erected in front of the hall, upon which stand 3 men waiting to be hanged. A white-haired man toting a furled parchment and 3 city guardsmen mount the steps leading up to the wooden platform and stand in front of the condemned trio. Looking out over the growing field of spectators, the scroll is unfurled, and a white-haired man reads aloud a list of crimes for which the men are being hanged. The litany of foul deeds is nearing its conclusions when suddenly, much to the horror of all present, the middle of the 3 men snap his bonds and throw 2 of the guardsmen from the platform. The remaining guard draws his sword and steps between free prisoner and the white-haired man, but the weapon is summarily wrenched from his hand and turned upon him with deadly effect. Only moments later, a horrified gasp rises out of the crowd. The guard's headless corpse topples off the platform. The white-haired man drops the scroll from which he has been reading and falls back, but the freed prisoner appears to take no notice of him. Instead, he drops the sword and his body begins to shudder, and a terrifying transformation comes over him. In mere-seconds, the transformation is complete, and the hideous monstrosity now occupying the spot where the condemned man once stood is like nothing you've ever had the displeasure of viewing. What is it? Much of the crowd surrounding the gallows turns and flees wildly through the streets as a 12-foot blood-red, slime-coated worm with the arms and head of an ogre slithers on top of the platform. Those brave enough, or perhaps foolish enough, to have remained to witness the transformation of the condemned man turns and bolts from the grotesque worm. Creature slides off the wooden perch and begins making its way toward you. A grand thing to find you so easily, grumbles the ogre-headed worm creature as a torrent of bile spills out of its mouth and down over its slime-covered torso. The master has sent me here to bear news of his imminent arrival to she upon whom his eye is fallen. I am Grubmaw, human, and despite all appearances, it is I who looks upon a worm. Grubmaw, your mind races. None of the harbingers of Runeskin has found you, though what purpose you've been tested you cannot say. The hideous immortal abomination slithers towards you, but suddenly distracted by a group of 8 city guardsmen approaching from the rest, the vile creature turns its attention to the encroaching men, seemingly have forgotten about you for the moment. The master. Runeskin. Little is only the origin and purpose of the fearsome mythical ogre known as Runeskin. Standing over 9 feet in height and weighing at least 1,000 pounds, the supposedly immortal creature has long been a recurring dilemma for humanity over the 7 centuries he's been appearing in Sryth. Named for the countless blue runes that cover nearly every square inch of his loathsome bulk, Runeskin is a sight to behold and indeed an enemy best avoided. Runeskin possesses the ability to change form at will and often appears in some innocuous entity before revealing its true terrifying self and embarking on a savage and deadly rampage against his chosen target, which is at various times has been an entire city. When his violent tirade has run its course, or when he is met with significant resistance, Runeskin has historically departed, though not before substantially damage and misery has been left in his wake. Runeskin will often employ the service of creatures such as goblins, trolls, and other ogres who are only too willing to join him as he wages his brutal war on humanity. Mm, Grubmaw. A 12-foot long slime coated blood red worm has the head and arms of an ogre and a disposition nearly as foul as sickening appearance. Grubmaw is named Plaguebearer because of his arsenal of diseases he would employ upon his enemies, although only at the behest of his master Runeskin. I mean, might as well attack. Seizing the opportunity, he charges Grubmaw while his attention is focused on the 8 guardsmen. The speed and ferocity of your attack catches Grubmaw off guard. The giant, slime-coated ogre-headed worm snarls as he attempts to counter your assault. Quick combat. Defeated, but still very much alive, the immortal ogre-headed one retreats towards the gallows. Its rolling black portal opens a few yards away, and a repulsive creature stops directly in front of it. The master will deal with you and yours, human. The hour is nearly at hand, growls Grandma before slithering into the vortex and disappearing. The portal promptly closes behind him. On the ground, not far from the spot where you engage the immortal harbinger of Runeskin, you discover a small black gem. Pick up the curious object and decide to carry it with you. As people begin to return to the street of the Harvest Hall, you quietly slip away, not wishing to draw any unwanted attention to yourself. The encounter with Grubmaw has served to unnerve you like no other in recent memory, and inexplicably you feel certain that something somewhere has changed. Interesting. Indeed, indeed. Who's been there by? Hi, Johan. Hi, Aka. Chel, Chelim, Chel, Chelim. Okay. Treyumsk. Fruzuk. Iran. Bop Bop in Chaos. Hello. Nice to see you. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Alright, let's go back to the southeast. We were hanging out in Tridmore. There's nothing else going on here, it appears. We've been to the River Guild. Alright, what else we got in the southeast here? Megalsmire, Blackstone Tower, Silver Wisps, the Barlock region, Westmere, and Dragonwrath. I will check those out in the next episode. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out and joining me. Till next time, you know what I'm gonna say. Peace.